you couldn't take your eyes off Timo Werner's movement in that first half. It was just fantastic. And he's going to be, he's a dream for a midfield player because, if you get a touch and get turned on the ball, you can probably just poke it over the top for him to make runs. And once he gets his timing right and the understanding of his teammates, you can clearly see how good an outball that's going to be. The other thing is and Frank talked about Loftus-Cheek. We probably are going to see Kai Havertz playing a more central role, I think, as the season goes on and Pulisic comes back to full fitness and such. And I think he'll be much more effective in there. Now, that could be as a striker with Werner coming from a wide position, or it could be slightly deeper where Loftus-Cheek played today. Because I think at the end of the day, he's more suited to that. He hasn't quite got the pace, and I don't think the desire to run up and down. You talk about the Lewis Dunk header when Reece Jamess tucked in. It was Havertz who was stood at the back post not marking. So it's not really his role or it's not really his ability to do that kind of job. And I think people were talking, said, well, he wouldn't quite see Havertz at his best, but I think you will when he plays a more central role and he can start pulling strings and playing those lovely little balls over the top for Timo Werner's runs.
Yeah, first impressions of Timo Werner in a Chelsea shirt, Stevie?
Yeah, he looks sharp. The penalty he got is because he's alive, he's alert, and he's got pace. But we really haven't seen the best of him, that's for sure, because we did criticise the middle of the park for not defending against Brighton properly. But I think we also should criticise them because they never gave service to the front three either. And so that really is a worry, because if they can get Werner service, then no question, from the glimpses we saw today, he's going to be a handful for any defence.
Frank?
Yeah, he showed, especially the first half. We lost him a little bit the second half, but as Stevie said, because he wasn't really served. But he had some chances to show us, the talent that he has, the pace that he has, and he will be, with somebody like Ziyech, Mason Mount, and Everest. We're gonna help him out a lot. Hopefully, he's going to score many goals because he's already sharp. He's already belonging to the family, and he feels good. We could see that he was feeling good. He was the positive aspect of Chelsea today in the first half.
Dan, sorry, just let me go back to the goalkeeper just briefly. I think this was, you could say arguably the perfect scenario today with him, making that mistake again, because it didn't cost Chelsea any points. And if I don't know how far a deal is down the line with any goalkeeper, be it Mendy in France or whoever, but if a deal has been if it's a game of bluff at the moment with clubs over transfer fees and wages and agents' fees, then this is perfect for Frank Lampard to go to the board and say, listen, guys, we need to push any deal that we're chasing over the line now, because here's a guy that I told you at the end of the season was costing us points. As Stevie said, I don't have a number two that I really want to put in, and we've started the season again, and we've got away with it. But how long are we going to keep getting away with it? So get out there, make sure you get the deal done, get a proper goalkeeper in, and then we can move on. So in some sense, him making the mistake again might just be the kick up the backside that Chelsea need to push a deal over the line.
How sweet was that strike from Reece Jamess, Stevie?
Oh, well, Dan, I can assure you, as a former fullback, you don't hit too many like that in your career. And I know he's still got a lot. He's basically got his whole career pretty much in front of him. But I'll tell you what, I'll have a bet with you that he doesn't hit one sweeter or more perfectly into the top corner than that one today. It was absolutely beautiful. I'm sure he hopes he can do it again, but I'm not so sure he can or will.
Frank, what a way to get your first Premier League goal.
I think it was a header against Coventry, and well, it changes everything.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about only getting back to you.
I thought you asked me the very first goal. I'm sorry. I headed it. Well, I'm sorry.
I headed it Coventry.
Yeah, true. But for first goal in his career, I mean, that's absolutely a fantastic souvenir. Because on top of it, it's not only the goal he scores, he scores it straight after Brighton scored a goal. So he really gave a new freedom to the game for the Chelsea player. So he's top corner, he takes the chance. I mean, the power of the shot is absolutely fantastic, but my header was much better.
Yeah, of course it was, against Coventry as well.
Dan, I actually thought the celebration for that goal was a little strange. I would have expected everybody to have been smiling and going crazy and jumping all over him. He's a young guy, and it's his first goal, but there was almost a little look to everybody that they were like, oh, we've got ourselves ahead. Because they were having an absolute nightmare at the time. That was the first thing that I thought about when I saw them jump or running towards him, if you can call it that. There was a real apathy about it that I found strange.
One last point on this, and I thought I wanted to...
Hey, Dan, I think we should have... I think what we should do, we should actually start this whole show again where you come in and say, Frank, talk us through your header at Highfield Road in 1990, whatever it was. That's the only place to start.
You know, sometimes it's not very, because I'm used to the Scottish accent, but sometimes the English accent I don't get it.
Yes.
So it's hard to. Yeah, it's true. No,
Blame
I'm
me.
kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't understand the beginning of the question.
Obviously, Frank and Craig, you took penalties in your career. Craig, you famously almost got a hat trick in one game. How difficult is it to do what Jorginho does, time in, time out, with the way in which he takes this like little hop before? Could you do that?
Well, not when you've had 7 operations and you've got no cartilage in your knees. So I wouldn't be trying it. But clearly it works for him. Clearly it works for him because that little hop gets a movement from the goalkeeper, or generally does, and that triggers the side that he's going to put it. So for some reason, the keeper goes early when he does that, or a little earlier, and then he's able to just pick his spot. Listen, it's worked great for him, but it's not something I personally would have tried. Eric Cantona used to come up to the ball. Eric just never did the hop. Right. He just sauntered up to it almost at walking place and then put it in the corner side-footed. But, you've got to have some confidence to do that.
More reaction then to what we saw in the opening weekend of the Premier League on the next edition of the show. Be sure to join us.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.